So I was lucky enough to get involved with it from the very first race, where someone I knew was looking for flag marshals, and I was part of the Victoria University Car Club in those days. And I thought, why not? You know, get to stand out in the middle of the street next to the race cars as they're buzzing past you, and get in for free. that was the main part of it, but it was incredibly exciting. You know, cars rushing past you, inches away from you, just the crowds and the atmosphere, and the fact that it was international and happening right here in Wellington was the key part. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And back in those days, you know, I was standing next to the Armco, which was here. I would hang a flag out over the Armco, and the cars would be literally where the flag was. So it was really close racing, but it didn't seem to worry me, I guess because I was in my 20s and I didn't worry about that sort of thing. You have to go back to Peter Brock and Dick Johnson. Those were the days where those two were battling it out every day. I'm thinking of others. You know, we had people like Denny Holm come and race, and you know, being a Formula 1 driver, he was a guy I looked out to, and I remember pushing his car actually when it stopped. It was I think he was driving a Golden Bullion Commodore on that race, and down in Jervis Key it sort of pulled over, so got out across the Armco and pushed him to safety, and that was a bit of fun too. And
so you wouldn't have seen the Tony Longhurst?
No, I didn't see the Tony Longhurst crash at all, but it wasn't till, you know, you got back and you saw the highlights on TV, you go, wow, that was just a couple of corners away from me. I didn't even know it happened. And it was a nasty one too.
That was a nasty one. You see the footage.
Yeah.
The entrance onto the main straight, very tight there, just clips the wall, bounces off the other wall, then careers across the straight into the other wall in Wellington. So he took out 3 walls and the John Sachs car. A dramatic smash there with Tony Longhurst at the wheel of the car that had just taken the lead in the race.
Yeah, I've seen some photos too, and apparently, you know, his head apparently came out of the car and hit onto one of the concrete walls, which I've never seen again. I hope I don't.
And it's so crazy that they had the TV3 guy, because I think Dick Johnson ran up to the car straight away.
That's right.
Yeah. And then go there as it.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, everyone was out. Yeah, everyone was out there to try and help, do what they could, but. You know, the safety measures today would be you don't go out on that track until it's clear, which, you know, because anything could have happened. The cars coming around the corner, so everyone relied on the marshals, and we had to make sure cars stopped.
Yeah. Know anyone who hated the race?
No. Yeah, no, I don't know anyone personally, but I do know the council was paying for people to move out of Wellington during the street race.
Oh, really?
So I'd heard of a couple of people the council had put up in motels or hotels in different parts of, well, nearby Wellington, so because the noise was a real problem. Of course, I love the noise. The noise was what it's all about.
Kiwi fans are just looking forward to seeing these guys unleash these mighty Aussie V8s.
Well, it pulled 25 to 30,000 people. That's a record crowd here on the Wellington Street Circuit.
They've got the red. They've got the green. John Bower gets a great start. Look at Larry Perkins down the inside. Radish, it's got a shocker. John Bower, Perkins, Neil Crompton right up there too. Peter Brock caught by the tyres in the 05 Commodore. That's the chicane we've all been talking about. Not a bad start. They got away pretty cleanly, except for Peter Brock. Fantastic shots on board the Ford Credit Falcon of Glenn Seaton. This is as close to the Wellington waterfront as you can get, racing around the streets of Wellington with a great Aussie V8. Just listen to the sound of it.
Well, you can hear he's not getting too far up in the revs, and this is one of the things that guys just don't like very much. It's hard on the gear, hard on the tyres, and of course hard on them. The guys are hopping out of the cars after each practice session yesterday, really wrung out, because this is really hard work. You've got to be right on it. As you can see, there's scarcely any runoff room, and trackside there's just walls either side.
Oh, getting very close there, Seaton. Warming up, looming up, and great shots here from the 3 Sport team. Great shots looking back from the bumper of Paul Radisich. That's the high-speed chicane down the back straight. And as you can see there, stretching out his lead over Glenn Seaton. Now Seaton closing up through that chicane under brakes.
But some people, there was a lot of people a little bit angry about it, because it kind of echoed around the hills, especially around Oriental Bay and Mount Vic area. People would get a little upset about it. I started a Facebook page or group wow, maybe 4 years ago now. And originally I thought, hey, maybe we should get this thing started again. But over time I kind of realised it probably was a little away from what would really happen here in Wellington, especially now. You know, everything's changed, the government landscape's changed, people have changed. But it's turned into somewhat of a nostalgic page, and I have so many people who saw the race, who were driving in the race, who were photographing the race, all commenting, sending in photos, and honestly I try and put a new photo on the page every weekday. It's just one little thing I do, and I've been going for 4 years with new photos and I haven't stopped yet. So it's still got a lot of good memories for a lot of people around the area. You know, the big event, the Monaco of the South, the people coming in, the international reputation. And I think that's what people remember.